Well, I'm Fred Gortner. I'm a co-founder and the chief operating officer of Paladin Realty. For over 15 years now, we've been one of the leading investors in Latin America, 7 countries to date across 3 funds and about $5 billion of assets. About 3/4 of what we've done to date is low and middle income housing, and we still believe that that's one of the best ways to play the growth opportunity in the region. We just completed this year somewhat of a reorganization of the firm that has focused all of our resources now on Latin America. We started the business 20 years ago with investments in the United States, and we wound those down earlier this year and have been hiring and building our team in the region. We now have 4 regional offices and 2/3 of our investment staff based in Latin America. In short, why Latin America and what are we seeing down there? Is a tremendous growth opportunity. You've got, and the tailwinds are really driven in demographics, and so across all the markets that we're in, which is about 400 million people and about a $4 trillion economy, you've got very young populations entering the workforce. You have economies that are growing robustly, with the exception of Brazil. We can talk a little bit about that if you'd like. But even Brazil at 2% growth, it's a full employment economy, and there's 4 million people a year in Brazil alone entering the middle class. And that's creating demand for all kinds of things: cars, nice restaurants, and affordable modern housing. And that's accounted for about 3/4 of what we've developed to date. The $5 billion that we've developed in the region to date is low and middle income for sale housing. One of the regions that we're most excited about is the Andean region. We started investing in Colombia and Peru in our prior fund about 6-7 years ago. We've made 6 investments to date, both housing and commercial. In Colombia and Peru, you've got 75 million people, and you have economies that have been growing at a 4 to 6% rate and grew through the financial crisis. They both experienced real GDP growth. On the metrics that we use to measure the attractiveness of a market: rule of law, stable money, which is really having inflation under control, fiscal balance, governments that balance their books, deregulation, and free trade, the Andean region have scored at the top of all 5 of those metrics, and in fact, free trade being one of the great contributors to their economy. So again, it's a story of a growing middle class, rising prosperity as a young population enters the workforce, creating demand for modern real estate. We are active in 3 different markets in Colombia and in Lima, Peru, and expect that the fund we're currently investing, which is our 4th fund, will have as much as 30 to 40% of the capital invested in those 2 countries alone.